Today, we're talking about attributes for success that cost you nothing, that are free. There are things that will cause you to be successful that, they're kind of stealth, because you don't think, it's not so much if I have these, I have success, that they guarantee success, but I guarantee you if you don't have them, you're destined to fail. You're not going to be. Good morning, Robin. Good morning, Sawyer. You're not going to be all that you were designed to be, and you're not going to be happy if you're not fulfilling what you know in your heart, in your mind, in your soul that you ought to be doing. All right, so we're going to list these before we run out of time. On our podcasts are only 15 minutes long, so let's talk about these a minute. Number one is attitude. You got to put latitude in your attitude. Somebody says, well, I'm not always in a good mood. Well, then go back and don't leave the house till you are. And if you've got to chew somebody's leg off, make it be your own leg. By the way, in case I didn't tell you, you can reach out to us at realgarytussey.com and realgarytussey@gmail.com. And we gave the phone number a few minutes ago if you want to call in and contribute to the conversation, because that's the next thing that is a major key to success. When you interact with other people, you have to have a mindset to contribute. There are two types of people in the world, and there are two types of people. And occasionally we all fall in one of these, but as a default, you've got to be a contributor. You got to be a giver, not a taker. We're always talking on this podcast that we're not victims. The more we talk about they, the government, or they, that political party, or they, that political party, and if they do this, then I can that. If they do that, I can this. The more you do that, the more you're setting yourself up. You're ruining yourself, actually. It's very toxic to think that way. And all major news networks are set up every day to get you to think that way. You're lazy if you think that way. Don't be lazy. They are not your challenge. You are your challenge. You cannot control what other people are going to do, what they're going to think. But our founding fathers made sure that when this nation was founded, that it's founded on the premise of we the people. And for we the people to be the greatness that this country is designed to be by our Creator, then we have to reconcile with the reality of me, the person. So there are certain things I bring to the game. There are certain things I bring to my daily existence that will be contributors to guarantee my success. One, and you too, attitude. Put latitude in your attitude. If you got to be in a foul mood, sit in your car a few more minutes until you get it right. You can fix it. Okay, I can help you with that. That's why you need to meet me here 5 o'clock every morning. What else are you doing? Getting ready for your day. And you can do this. You can just sit here with me. We can get things right. We can fly right, and we can move on. We can be a blessing. All right. Now, attitude and then contribute. You're going to interact with other people. How can you make their day better? How can you make their situation better? Are you seeing that? Do you even have an intention? Do you even have a realization that maybe that's why you're crossing paths with certain people through the day? Now, another thing that contributes success to your situation that doesn't cost you anything to do it, and that is when you're supposed to be somewhere, be there on time. Be punctual. Get there when you're supposed to be there. If someone's looking at their watch, wondering where you're at, you are already on a fast track to failure. That's no good. If people are counting on you, and particularly, have you met people who, if you've known them so long that now you realize if you need them there at a certain time, you ask them to be there 30 minutes before you are really going to need them. That is bad. And I feel really, really bad for people who live their life like that. And you would be amazed. That is nothing but a sheer sign of lazy when you are consistently 30 minutes late everywhere you go. Please. Now, another major factor for success. Another major factor. These are things you've got to take into a job interview. We help people with resumes, and our action committee is going to help people with resumes. If you missed it earlier, I'm going to tell you now what Action is. It's a program we've developed. It's Academy of Construction Trades and Industrial Occupations Network. It really highlights people who thank God for the technology field, thank God for the things like that, but the craftsman side, the hands-on, get in the trenches side of labor has really waned, but is a very needful service that we're highlighting constantly, talking about the value of your time, your effort, your energy, or your ingenuity, and your hands. Here's a major key to be a success to whatever you're applying yourself to, and that is the art of listening. When you understand listening, when you understand that listening and hearing are not the same, a healthy baby when it's born is born able to hear. Hearing's not an issue to a healthy child born. We all, unless there's a malady, we all hear. We can hear. We can hear. But do we listen? Listening is something that you have to train yourself to do. Listening causes you to learn. People who don't listen don't learn. You cannot talk and listen at the same time. So the gateway to listening is a little bit more silence. And sometimes I like to encourage people, if you'll be silent just a moment or two to give your brain time to kind of drip, drop, drip into what would be the right response in what may need to be said. A fool is known by his much speaking. I know. A fool is known because they won't shut up. Are you kidding me? And have you ever seen anybody who knows absolutely everything about everything? Something that really set me free one time, because preachers are the worst for this. They think because they have a divine ordination from heaven to speak the gospel, that they know everything about everything and can advise everybody about everything. One of the greatest keys of success is realizing I don't know everything, but I can find out for you. I can connect you with somebody that does know that. That's what I'm talking about. Compassion is a broad sense, but your knowledge to be able to help in some things, you got to admit, I don't know. Even Jesus said that. Even Jesus said, what have I to do with it? This is no business of mine. He said, yeah, it's in there. It's in there. We're talking, keeping it real. So you got to listen. You've got to be a listener. And the main ingredient to being a good listener is don't talk a little bit. Let somebody else do some talking and let it register in your brain what's happening, and then process, consider, calculate the information that's coming your way before you take an action. That's what listening does. And then I've got listed on here, this is very important. These are things that are keys to your success that don't cost you anything. You're not going to run up a student loan debt doing these things. As a matter of fact, you can run up a student loan debt, and if you don't possess these things, you're going to keep that debt. That debt's only going to get worse. The last thing I've got on here, and it doesn't mean that I won't add to any of these later, the last thing I got on here is, guess what? Personal hygiene. It doesn't hurt occasionally to wash your face. It doesn't hurt occasionally to, wear clean clothes. And it doesn't hurt occasionally if your shoes look like you polished them with a Hershey bar. It's not going to help your situation. Every girl's crazy about a sharp dressed man. I mean, that's the gospel, isn't it? No, ZZ Top said that, but I believe them. It show you're forward. How do I say this? The image of your preparedness for what you're stepping into is reflected by your hygiene and and you don't get a second chance at a first impression, man. You don't get it, guys and gals. You don't get and you don't dress for what you're doing and what you got. You dress for where you're headed, and you put forth energy toward the things that you're headed toward. You don't want to get, and I'm telling you things that help you remain successful, not only successful, but happy, because we have got to apply a high energy pursuit of happiness. That's what we are destined to do. That's the reason for this nation is not all the amendments in the Constitution. It goes back even deeper than that, this is about we, the people, which in turn is me, the person. It begins first with me, the person, right? To live and let live, to be free and to set free, and to apply a high energy pursuit toward happiness.